You killed his daddy. What are you talking about? Quran was not his daddy and nobody killed him. That nigga died because he died. The fuck? Nigga get to plant with me on the internet and he wound up dead. Oh, I did it? No, I didn't. Y'all need to stop doing that. I actually loved Quran, bro.
Yo, the streets are buzzing and the internet is on fire, cause Blueface just dropped explosive allegations that nobody saw coming. He claims Chrisean Rock is responsible for the death of her real baby daddy, and the way he's telling it, this isn't just drama, it's a full-blown, life-altering accusation. Sources close to Blueface say he's been holding onto this story for a minute, but now he's ready to expose everything. Fans are shocked, haters are hyped, and social media is losing it. Everyone wants the receipts, and everyone's asking the same question. Is this real, or just another celebrity stunt? Blueface didn't just hint, he went all in, spilling details that are dark, twisted, and terrifying, claiming that Chrisean's actions went far beyond the streets or social media beefs. According to him, there's a pattern of manipulation, threats, and hidden violence that nobody has talked about until now. The story involves shady moves behind closed doors, unanswered questions about past incidents, and a tangled web of relationships that could make anyone's head spin. And yo, this isn't just about rap drama. This is real life, real consequences, and serious danger. People are asking if authorities are involved, if the truth will ever come out, and what this means for everyone connected. Blueface is putting it all on the line, daring anyone to challenge him, and the world is watching, waiting, and holding its breath. Buckle up, this story is about to get messy, shocking, and unforgettable. After the explosive hook, Blueface's world reportedly shifted overnight. Friends and insiders say he became hyper-aware of every move around him, who he was talking to, where he was going, even the smallest interactions in the streets or online. The allegations against Chrisean Rock weren't just words. According to sources, he had information that made him fear for his life and for the safety of everyone connected to the situation. Blueface Circle revealed that the rapper began documenting everything meticulously. Phone calls, social media messages, sightings, and even casual encounters were logged, creating a digital map of interactions that could potentially corroborate his claims. This wasn't just paranoia, it was strategy. In the world of celebrity conflicts, particularly when accusations involve life-and-death claims, having evidence can be the difference between credibility and dismissal. Meanwhile, Chrisean Rock's camp reportedly denied all allegations publicly, but insiders suggest there were subtle signals of tension behind the scenes. According to sources, her associates were unusually cautious around Blueface's team, hinting at a level of awareness that raised eyebrows among both parties. Rumors swirled that she had powerful allies in her corner, creating a dynamic where confrontation had to be calculated, deliberate, and controlled. The story took a darker turn when Blueface allegedly revealed instances of manipulation and intimidation linked to past incidents involving Chrisean Rock and her former relationships. Sources close to Blueface claim that there was a pattern of aggressive behavior, sudden disappearances, and unexplained conflicts, which, in his eyes, painted a picture of someone capable of extreme measures. The intensity of the accusations sent shockwaves through social media, with fans dissecting every statement, clip, and photo for signs of truth or exaggeration. Insiders say the emotional toll on Blueface was heavy. The rapper reportedly experienced sleepless nights, heightened stress, and constant vigilance, knowing that making these allegations public put him in the spotlight in a way that could attract backlash from multiple directions. Friends note that he had to balance protecting his personal safety with controlling the narrative, which included careful communication with the media, selective interviews, and even consulting legal counsel to ensure he didn't cross lines that could jeopardize his credibility. As the saga unfolded, the public became aware of a complex web of relationships surrounding Chrisean Rock. Sources indicate that her inner circle was vast, influential, and at times opaque. Rumors circulated about individuals who may have had motivations to shield her or manipulate the situation for their own interests. Blueface allegations suggested that this network could have played a role in escalating conflicts and concealing truths that only now were coming to light. A turning point in the narrative reportedly came when Blueface claimed to have unearthed evidence linking Chrisean Rock to critical incidents in her past relationships, incidents that raised serious questions about her behavior and intentions. According to insiders, he used this information to build a case that went beyond social media posts and public feuds, creating a timeline that outlined how patterns of manipulation, intimidation, and influence could have led to the tragic events involving her real baby daddy. The emotional impact on fans and the public was immediate. Social media erupted with debates, theories, and outrage as people tried to separate fact from speculation. Some rallied behind Blueface, praising him for exposing what they saw as a hidden truth about Chrisean Rock, while others criticized him, questioning whether the story had been exaggerated or manipulated to gain attention. The divide created an atmosphere of intense scrutiny, with every tweet, post, and interview being analyzed for hidden meanings. According to sources close to Blueface, one of the most challenging aspects of the drama was dealing with the unpredictability of Chrisean Rock's allies. The network reportedly included influential figures capable of shaping narratives, swaying public opinion, and potentially interfering with investigations or media coverage. Blueface's team had to operate with caution, knowing that even small missteps could be amplified, misinterpreted, or weaponized against him. As the story progressed, Blueface reportedly began reaching out to mutual contacts and insiders, attempting to verify claims, gather corroborating evidence, and ensure that the information he presented was both accurate and defensible. According to insiders, he wanted to avoid the pitfalls that often trap celebrities: exaggeration, miscommunication, or being perceived as just another rapper in a feud. His approach was methodical, almost investigative, reflecting the seriousness of the allegations. Sources close to Chrisean Rock, on the other hand, insist that the allegations are unfounded and misleading. They reportedly claim that Blueface's statements are exaggerated, noting that the narrative has been amplified by social media hysteria and biased reporting. Yet the mere existence of multiple corroborating whispers in the industry fueled speculation that the story was far more complicated than a simple feud. One insider noted that this saga is not just about personal conflict, it's about power, influence, and survival in the entertainment industry. The layers of loyalty, rivalry, and hidden agendas create an environment where every action can have life-altering consequences and where public perception often dictates outcomes more than facts alone. Blueface's decision to go public with his allegations was seen as a strategic risk, one that could either vindicate him or make him vulnerable to counterattacks. Industry experts reportedly observed that such high-stakes disputes are often managed with extreme caution, balancing public statements with private negotiations. In this case, the involvement of social media, fan speculation, and multiple third parties made the situation unpredictable and volatile, requiring careful handling to prevent escalation into outright chaos. As Part 1 unfolds, sources say the most shocking revelations were yet to come. Blueface allegedly hinted that there were further layers of conspiracy, hidden witnesses, and previously undisclosed incidents that could dramatically alter the public's understanding of Chrisean Rock's alleged actions. Insiders note that these claims, if verified, could have serious legal implications, emotional consequences, and career-altering repercussions for all parties involved. Despite the tension, Blueface reportedly remained focused on controlling his narrative and protecting his family and allies. Friends say he used this time to strengthen security measures, document interactions, and reach out to trusted confidants to ensure that he wasn't blindsided by unexpected developments. Every decision was reportedly weighed carefully, balancing the need for transparency with the dangers of overexposure. Sources close to the situation also revealed that the alleged death of Chrisean Rock's real baby daddy had left a deep mark on everyone connected. The circumstances surrounding the death, coupled with Blueface's explosive allegations, created a charged atmosphere of suspicion, grief, and fear, making every interaction fraught with tension. The ripple effects were felt throughout social media, the music industry, and personal networks connected to both parties. Industry insiders note that this saga exemplifies the dangerous intersection of celebrity, influence, and personal relationships. When fame, wealth, and power collide with tragedy and alleged criminal activity, the results are unpredictable and often destructive. Blueface allegations are a stark reminder that behind the glitz, glamour, and viral headlines, there is a world where hidden conflicts and high-stakes maneuvers can shape lives in profound ways. Blueface allegations have set the stage for continued public debate, scrutiny, and speculation. Friends and insiders insist that the coming weeks could reveal even more explosive details, as additional witnesses, evidence, and perspectives come to light. The drama surrounding Blueface and Chrisean Rock has become a cautionary tale about trust, power, and the cost of exposing hidden truths in an industry where appearances often mask a far more dangerous reality. As the dust settled from Blueface's initial allegations, the tension didn't fade, it only intensified. Sources close to him revealed that the rapper felt the weight of every word he had released, knowing that the public and Chrisean Rock's allies were watching his every move. The stakes were higher than ever. Social media speculation had exploded into a full-blown digital battlefield, with fans, influencers, and insiders weighing in, spreading theories, and dissecting every clip, post, and statement. Insiders say that behind the scenes, Blueface began building a network of trusted contacts, people who could provide verification, corroborate timelines, and serve as witnesses if the situation escalated further. According to sources, he understood that credibility was his most valuable asset, and he treated it with extreme care. Every post, comment, or video he released was calculated, aimed at keeping the narrative in his favor while protecting himself from backlash or manipulation. Meanwhile, Chrisean Rock's camp reportedly went into damage control mode. Sources indicate that her inner circle was mobilizing lawyers, PR specialists, and private investigators, attempting to counter Blueface's claims and maintain her public image. This included subtle social media moves, posts that seemed innocuous but were reportedly meant to signal confidence and stability, contrasting with Blueface's increasingly aggressive narrative. The story grew even more complicated when insiders claimed that additional witnesses had come forward. These were people who had allegedly been close to Chrisean Rock or her late baby daddy, offering fragmented accounts that hinted at a web of relationships, conflicts, and potential motives. While these accounts were not always consistent, they added layers of intrigue and suspicion, forcing fans and journalists alike to question what was real and what was speculation. Blueface reportedly became obsessed with connecting the dots. Friends say he spent hours reviewing old messages, footage, and interactions, trying to piece together a timeline of events that could shed light on the alleged incident. According to insiders, he wasn't just concerned with public perception. He wanted to understand the truth for himself and protect those around him. The emotional toll was significant. Sources close to Blueface claimed that he experienced heightened anxiety, stress, and paranoia, knowing that the story was spreading like wildfire and that Chrisean Rock's allies might respond aggressively. Friends noted that he rarely slept, frequently checked in with his inner circle, and made security a priority, particularly for his family and close friends. As Part 2 unfolds, it becomes clear that social media played a massive role in escalating the conflict. Fans dissected every post from both sides, with hashtags trending and forums lighting up with theories, memes, and heated debates. The line between reality and speculation blurred, with each new clip or statement prompting another wave of reactions and commentary. Sources say that this digital storm was both a blessing and a curse. It amplified Blueface's voice, but also exposed him to relentless scrutiny and potential misinterpretation. Insiders also suggest that Chrisean Rock's behavior during this period became increasingly erratic, fueling Blueface's narrative of manipulation and aggression. According to friends of the rapper, she allegedly made several public posts and cryptic statements hinting at knowledge of past incidents that she had not previously disclosed. These moves were interpreted by some as a subtle attempt to intimidate or redirect attention, though nothing was confirmed legally at that time. The saga took a darker turn when Blueface allegedly revealed that the late baby daddy's death was surrounded by suspicious circumstances, with details that seemed to contradict initial reports. Friends and insiders say that he was particularly disturbed by discrepancies in accounts from people who were present at critical moments. According to sources, these inconsistencies raised serious questions about what had actually happened and who might have been involved behind the scenes. During this time, Blueface reportedly began documenting everything meticulously, creating detailed notes, timelines, and digital evidence archives. Sources say he anticipated that the situation could escalate to legal proceedings or media investigations, and he wanted to ensure that his version of events could be substantiated if challenged. Friends claim he was particularly focused on protecting the reputations and safety of those who were inadvertently involved, including family members and mutual acquaintances. Meanwhile, social media speculation reached unprecedented levels, with some fans suggesting that Chrisean Rock had external influences or supporters who were shaping her actions. According to insiders, these claims were partly fueled by her sudden changes in social media activity and the selective release of information. Blueface team reportedly monitored these moves closely, interpreting them as strategic communications designed to maintain control of the narrative. Industry insiders reportedly noted that this type of drama is not uncommon in high-profile relationships and conflicts, but the intensity of the situation involving Blueface and Chrisean Rock was exceptionally high, given the alleged nature of the accusations. Friends say that Blueface was acutely aware of the potential legal, personal, and professional consequences, and he approached each step with caution and precision. As Part 2 progressed, sources claim that Blueface became increasingly frustrated with misinformation and rumors, particularly those spread online by fans, influencers, and self-proclaimed insiders. He reportedly emphasized to his inner circle the importance of truth and evidence, cautioning against spreading claims that could backfire or be used against him. Friends note that this meticulous attention to detail reflected a growing sense of responsibility and seriousness about the unfolding events. Insiders also suggest that the relationship between Blueface and Chrisean Rock, even before these allegations became public, had been fraught with tension, mistrust, and conflicting narratives. Sources indicate that previous interactions had left both parties wary and guarded, creating an environment where miscommunication and suspicion could easily escalate into full-blown conflict. During this period, Blueface allegedly began receiving messages from other industry figures, some offering support, others cautioning him to tread carefully. Friends say he treated these communications with care, weighing advice against the reality of the situation and the potential risks of public disclosure. According to insiders, his decisions were driven by both personal safety concerns and a desire to protect his credibility in the eyes of fans and the media. It's evident that the drama surrounding Blueface and Chrisean Rock is multi-layered and highly complex. Sources close to the rapper insist that the public has only seen a fraction of the story, and that behind the scenes, interactions, communications, and evidence create a picture of deep conflict, high stakes, and potentially dangerous consequences. Friends note that the next steps could involve legal actions, further public statements, and additional revelations that may significantly alter the narrative for everyone involved. While speculation continues online, insiders emphasize that the truth is still emerging. Blueface's careful documentation, strategic communications, and reliance on trusted confidants suggest that he is prepared for the long game, and that the story is far from finished. Sources claim that as Part 2 closes, all eyes are on what comes next, with the potential for explosive updates that could shock fans, the industry, and the public alike. In the midst of the drama, friends note that Blueface's focus remains on protecting those closest to him, maintaining credibility, and ensuring that the narrative is told on his terms. While rumors, speculation, and misinformation swirl, insiders say that his careful approach is designed to prevent further escalation and preserve both personal safety and professional reputation. The understanding that the situation is far from resolved, and that the coming days and weeks could bring even more dramatic developments. According to insiders, Blueface remains vigilant, strategic, and determined, fully aware that every move he makes is being watched, analyzed, and scrutinized by fans, media, and those on the other side of the conflict. As the saga entered its final chapters, the atmosphere around Blueface and Chrisean Rock became almost palpably tense. Sources close to the situation revealed that both sides were operating with heightened caution, aware that any public misstep could have serious consequences. The intensity wasn't just about reputation, it was about personal safety, legal exposure, and the potential unraveling of years of carefully constructed narratives. Blueface friends reported that he had grown increasingly strategic and methodical. Every interaction, whether in person or online, was scrutinized, documented, and evaluated. According to insiders, he understood that Chrisean Rock's network could respond unpredictably, and that even casual remarks or social media posts could escalate the situation further. Friends say he often spent hours analyzing posts, messages, and videos, not just from Chrisean Rock herself, but from her allies and even peripheral figures connected to the broader drama. Meanwhile, Chrisean Rock's camp reportedly remained tight-lipped publicly, but sources indicate private actions were far from passive. Legal consultations, private communications, and strategic social media use were reportedly in play, all designed to protect her image and prepare for potential legal challenges. Insiders noted that while she avoided overt confrontation publicly, subtle maneuvers suggested a high level of awareness and preparedness, further escalating the tension. As the story unfolded, several sources suggested that the conflict was far more layered than anyone outside the inner circle realized. Alleged interactions with other industry figures, past unresolved incidents, and overlapping social networks created a situation that was as complex as it was volatile. Blueface reportedly began connecting dots between seemingly unrelated events, creating a timeline that highlighted patterns of behavior, suspicious coincidences, and moments that seemed to indicate hidden influence or manipulation. Friends of Blueface say the emotional toll was immense. Sleepless nights, constant vigilance, and the pressure of public scrutiny reportedly compounded the stress of dealing with a situation that could affect personal safety and career trajectory. Despite this, insiders claim he remained focused, determined to maintain control over his narrative while protecting those closest to him. The story reportedly reached a new level of drama when alleged witnesses came forward with additional claims about Chrisean Rock's behavior. Sources indicate that these accounts, while fragmented, painted a picture of calculated and aggressive actions, further fueling speculation that the conflict extended beyond interpersonal rivalry into dangerous territory. Blueface team reportedly used this information to anticipate potential moves and safeguard against surprises, understanding that the stakes were high for everyone involved. Meanwhile, the public response continued to be frenzied and divided. Fans analyzed every social media post, interview, and video clip, dissecting motives, credibility, and the potential truth behind allegations. Some rallied behind Blueface, viewing his revelations as courageous, while others questioned the veracity of his claims. The digital battlefield amplified emotions, misinformation, and speculation, making every action a potential flashpoint for escalation. Insiders suggest that one of the most critical elements of the final phase was legal preparation. Blueface reportedly engaged counsel to evaluate the risks and potential outcomes, ensuring that any public statements would not jeopardize legal standing while still maintaining pressure on Chrisean Rock. Friends say, this strategic approach reflected a deep understanding that in high-profile disputes, perception often holds as much weight as fact. As the situation developed, sources claim that Chrisean Rock's circle became increasingly sensitive to public opinion, monitoring fan reactions, media coverage, and social media commentary. Reports suggest that subtle communications, carefully timed posts, and selective disclosures were part of a broader strategy to manage narrative control and mitigate reputational damage. Blueface team reportedly recognized these moves, adjusting their own actions to maintain leverage and ensure safety. According to insiders, the drama escalated when additional context about Chrisean Rock's alleged past behavior became public. Sources indicate that this context raised serious questions for fans and industry observers about patterns of manipulation, aggression, and influence, which added a new dimension to Blueface allegations. While not all claims could be independently verified, friends note that the accumulation of accounts, timelines, and circumstantial evidence created a tense, highly scrutinized environment. The emotional weight of the saga reportedly peaked when Blueface allegedly addressed the impact of these events on those closest to him. Friends say he was particularly concerned about family, collaborators, and mutual acquaintances who were inadvertently caught in the middle. The stress of navigating these relationships, while managing public perception and personal safety, reportedly required careful planning, diplomacy, and foresight. Sources close to Blueface also claim that one of the most dramatic aspects of the final phase was the intensifying public debate. Social media erupted with theories, analyses, and conjectures, some drawing parallels to historical celebrity conflicts where alleged lone actors were later revealed to be part of broader schemes. Friends say this digital frenzy only reinforced Blueface's commitment to control the narrative on his terms, ensuring accuracy while minimizing misinterpretation. As the story progressed, insiders suggest that both sides began preparing for potential legal proceedings. Blueface reportedly compiled extensive documentation, including messages, social media posts, and witness accounts, to support his version of events if the situation escalated. Chrisean Rock's camp, meanwhile, reportedly fortified its defenses, consulting legal and PR experts to anticipate potential attacks and protect her interests. The final phase reportedly highlighted the broader implications of celebrity conflicts. Sources say that in situations involving high-profile figures, influence, reputation, and public perception often weigh as heavily as legal facts. Friends note that Blueface's careful approach, documenting, monitoring, and strategizing, reflected a clear awareness of how quickly narratives can shift and how devastating false or exaggerated claims can be. As the drama neared its public conclusion, insiders claim that key lessons emerged: the importance of evidence, the power of narrative, and the strategic use of social media in high-stakes conflicts. Blueface reportedly focused on ensuring that any future developments would be rooted in documented fact, credible testimony, and controlled messaging, while minimizing the risk of misrepresentation. Friends and insiders suggest that the saga's resolution may not come from social media alone. The accumulation of allegations, witness accounts, and circumstantial evidence reportedly sets the stage for potential legal action, mediation, or industry intervention, all of which could significantly influence the final outcome. While uncertainty remains, sources note that the final chapters of the story are likely to involve verification, accountability, and public scrutiny, highlighting the risks and consequences of celebrity disputes. Ultimately, the saga of Blueface and Chrisean Rock illustrates the high stakes of personal and professional conflicts in the public eye. According to insiders, the combination of fame, influence, emotional intensity, and alleged dangerous behavior created a situation that demanded careful navigation, strategic planning, and constant vigilance. Friends say that even as the story appears to wind down publicly, the repercussions, legal, emotional, and professional, may continue for some time. As the final words of this chapter emerged, sources close to Blueface emphasized his commitment to truth, safety, and clarity. Friends say he remains vigilant, aware that the digital age magnifies every move, and that ongoing scrutiny from fans, media, and industry insiders could continue to shape the narrative. According to sources, while the story may now be approaching a quieter phase publicly, the lessons, evidence, and impacts of this saga will resonate far beyond social media posts and viral headlines. The final part closes with the understanding that the Blueface vs. Chrisean Rock saga is a cautionary tale of fame, influence, and the dangerous intersections of personal conflict and public scrutiny. Sources insist that while the immediate storm may calm, the ripple effects in reputation, legal standing, and personal relationships will continue to unfold behind the scenes, leaving an indelible mark on everyone involved.